Hey guys, welcome back to Puck Talk. Today we'll be discussing the draft and potential locations for the Phenom Connor Bedard. So first of all, where would you guys like to see him go?
Vancouver.
Yeah,
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
If I'm being biased,
Vancouver.
but like unbiased, I'd say Columbus because I think they're closer than most of the other teams to becoming a good team.
I think unbiased. I think Anaheim, like Zegras, Bedard. They already have a solid core of young guys. You know, McTavish and Bedard played on Team Canada together. They won gold together. And Zegras is like a really talented play driver. I feel like Bedard would benefit most. I think he'd have the most success there for sure, because the other options are Columbus, which is already a developed roster. Like they've got a lot of these players. They just got a lot of injury bugs. That's why they've been terrible this year.
Yeah.
And Chicago has nobody, so I don't think
Uh,
that'll be really good for his development.
yeah, if he was on Chicago, it'd just be him versus the world.
Yeah, exactly.
They
So
wouldn't
I don't
make
think.
sense.
If
He'd look good in Montreal too, I think.
if I were to not say the Canucks, because for me, I think the Canucks already have a stacked offense in general.
Yeah.
I would say like probably a nice Montreal team would look pretty good for him.
Yeah.
Po-
See,
Like I'm looking at this mock draft list that we have. Imagine if Washington got him.
oh no, that would suck. Actually, that would be pretty sucky.
Yeah,
Like
Washington has the one team in the top nine that doesn't need him at
I
all.
I think I feel like Montreal would be really nice for him though.
Yeah. Only of something to know of note though, only the top 10 teams in the lottery can jump to one. So like teams like Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Nashville, they cannot jump to
Yeah.
one. Calgary even, yeah, they can't jump to one. So yeah, I don't think we'll see a crazy jump in the play in the lottery. I think it'll just be clear cut like last year, Montreal won. This year I think Columbus, Anaheim, Chicago, one of those will win.
I
And
really don't want Ducks to win. I don't like the way that I don't like Zegras to be honest. He's been shoved down my throat too much.
I
Like
mean, I wouldn't mind him.
advertising him too
I
much.
wouldn't mind Bedard in San Jose either. San Jose needs a superstar. They've gotten pretty bare bones, but like they've got a decent roster, not too bad. They've got Eklund, young prospects coming up.
Yeah.
So,
They go Hurdle, Carlson, Couture, and I guess he'd go good with them, you know?
all right. So, based on this mock draft that we did on tankathon.com, the top five is this: Chicago 1, Anaheim 2, Columbus 3, San Jose 4, and Montreal 5. So, how about we just go through them and like see which team needs what based on their needs?
Okay. So this you just did mock lottery. Okay. So Chicago, I number one, I don't think anybody but Bedard goes. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think a GM would be fired if they took anybody else other than Bedard.
It's
Like
not
the
like
job well
right.
done.
Yeah. It's not like Red and Slavkovsky, you know?
Yeah,
It's
like yeah, that was in dispute because of COVID. You know, their years were kind of like like overshadowed by like the big pandemic. We didn't really know what their skill levels were like. But like this 2023 draft, we've seen a lot of their potential, and Bedard goes number one.
yeah.
Number two, Anaheim. I think Anaheim really just needs a really good goal scorer. Zegras and McTavish is their power forward guy. Like he reminds me of Kadri, you know, on the Leafs. So he's like a big like physical guy who can have some offense. Zegras is the playmaker, so like someone like Marner, something like that. They need a guy like Matthews who can score those goals. And I think based on this draft class, the best goal scorer in this draft class other than Bedard is probably Matvey Michkov.
He has
Even
to
though
wait. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, even though he has like 3 years on his Russian contract, I think Michkov is like the best goal scoring talent. I think like a couple of years, like even last year, he was a rival to Bedard for that one spot.
Yeah, I think he might have fallen off because of just the 3 years really hurts him, you know?
Yeah.
So it was quite a while. So,
It is. Yeah, teams don't want to take a chance like Anaheim, but like teams like Anaheim, I think they can definitely wait because
yeah.
I don't think they're contending anytime soon.
Yeah, I can see that. I'd agree with you on that.
What about you, Mark? What do you think Anaheim would do there?
Honestly, like I think they do need like another option as a goal scorer as well. Personally, who they could get? our draft says we're second. Who's available around that range? That's still after Bedard.
Fantilli,
It's
Fantilli and Michkov is pretty much.
Mentally,
yeah,
Michkov,
right.
Leo Carlson, those the usual suspects.
Okay. Am I wrong, like saying that like how do we think I feel like Leo Carlson.
I gue-
Leo
I guess
Carlson is more of like a like all around, jack of all trades kind of player.
yeah.
He does everything basically.
I'm
Yeah, but
just
I
looking
think
through.
I think number 2 and 3 it's gonna be Michkov and Fantilli. I think it
Yeah.
drops off quite a bit after that.
It
I think between those
I
two.
wouldn't say I feel like this draft class is pretty deep. Yeah, you have Leo Carlson, Michkov, Zach Benson, WHL guy, Will Smith. So yeah, you got a lot of options. But I think this class is definitely forward heavy. I don't think you'll
Yeah.
find really great defensemen in this class.
The best defenseman I think is
Sandin Palika.
Palika. Is that guy?
Yeah, Sandin Palika.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's not that great. But I think the top three is solid. I think Bedard, Fantilli, and Mishkov is top three in some order between Mishkov and Fantilli.
I think Leo Carlson might jump not Fantilli, Michkov just because of the Russian factor. Like Russia is
Yeah.
heavily stigmatized right now, so I don't know. But like if a team at 4 or 5 got Michkov, I think that's a straight steal.
Yeah.
Like Montreal, they could use a goal scorer too. In all fairness, like they get Michkov, Slavkovsky, that's a scary line.
And Caulfield too.
Caulfield is their
Cole
first line.
Caulfield.
Holy. That's something. Okay, so number 2, I think we agree Michkov or Carlson, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then number 3. What depends.
Fantilli.
Okay, what do you want to lock in? We'll just lock in Michkov for number 2 then.
Yeah, Michkov.
Mhm.
And then number 3, Fantilli.
Fantilli.
I
Yeah,
agree with you on that.
Fantilli's highly touted. He's American. We've seen a lot more of him than Michkov, so I think he doesn't slip past 3.
Yeah. And then number 4. Wait, who do we got drafting at number 4? Let's check that out.
San Jose.
San.
Dude, San Jose doesn't need a defenseman. Like, I don't know if anybody actually draft the
I don't think anybody
defenseman.
will draft a defenseman that high. Maybe they need a goalie, but even that high, there's no goalie of that caliber.
There's no goalies like available in like that you should draft in the first round, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like maybe they go for like Zach Benson, another forward, because they only have Eklund really at that forward, like a blue chip prospect, and Benson's a pretty decent one. He's a good skater. He's got high IQ. They need that a good passer. So I think they go for Zach Benson. He's a good option.
Okay. But then we got Leo Carlson left to number 5 then, right? So I'm guessing number 5 takes him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Leo he's fallen off through the year quite a bit. I mean, he was okay to start, but then he's kind of his draft stock has been going down a bit. Zach Benson, WHL is a more reliable league sometimes than SHL for sure. So I think they take the Canadian over the Swedish player.
That's
And then,
fair. Yeah, I can see that happening.
and then number 5, Montreal, Leo Carlson.
Yeah.
And they could use a good two-way forward. He does everything.
Yeah. It's not. I think whatever you draft in this draft is gonna be fine. It's such a
Yeah.
deep draft.
It's just that as long as you're number one, you have to make sure you get one specific person that
Yeah.
is the consensus number one.
Yeah. Isn't this like the most stacked draft since 2015? Or it's supposed to be?
Supposed to be. I mean, I all these players are pretty good, but that 2015 draft was in a league of its own,
Yeah.
honestly.
That draft was something else. Like I think
Yeah.
well Boston was that the draft that Boston had those 3 picks
Yeah.
and missed on all 3?
Did you know that Kaprizov was actually picked with Boston's pick?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. They don't show their faces out after that draft.
Yeah.
You
No.
don't you
I
don't
mean,
talk about that.
they've got 60 wins now. I don't think they really care about
you
it
know
that
what?
much.
They're like they're like the best team in the world. Like
They're doing okay.
ever.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're a team that is the fastest to reach 100. So like, who knows?
Yep,
It works out.
it definitely
Yeah.
does. Anyways, other than that, do you guys have any other thoughts about this? Or
How do you think Connor Bedard will be? Do you think he'll be McDavid tier or Matthews tier? Like, who do you compare him to?
I mean, I think he can he doesn't have the speed like McDavid. He has more of
Yeah.
like a Matthews type shot.
Yeah.
McDavid was injured in his first year. He was still point per game. Matthews had 40 goals. He wasn't point per game though. I think he's gonna have like 70 points, 35 goals, 35 assists, something like that.
Yeah, watching him play, I think it'll be like Matthews too. Like he just has he has an elite shot, not as much finesse as McDavid, but he can score. So pretty much like
Yeah,
Matthews.
and the thing is though, like depends on the roster he's on. Obviously, like if he's on Chicago, and he
Yeah.
has to carry
He
that
doesn't really
offense.
have a supporting cast.
Yeah, and I mean Bedard, he's okay defensively, but like if he has to worry about that too, I don't think he's scoring as much. So he needs to have a pretty decent cast. Like his ceiling on Columbus in his first year is definitely higher than his ceiling on
On Chicago.
yeah, Chicago, definitely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think
Watch this all be wrong, and like Washington wins first overall, and then Bedard and OV.
oh
God.
wow. That'd be crazy.
That would be
I'd
crazy to
love to
think.
see that.
I would too, but like,
I would love to see it until I just realize that it's broken as hell and like the NHL there's some problems that has to be fixed there.
yeah,
Bedard, Backstrom, Kuznetsov.
No.
Kuznetsov wants out apparently, anyways. So I don't know how different that roster would look with Bedard.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, but yeah, I think that's pretty much does it for this video, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you guys.